previous discussions and input that have been put forth by the previous groups. And be it further resolved, the town board go into executive session to consider the applications for membership on the Master Plan Codes Committee so as to achieve a full 9-member board. I make a motion that this resolution be approved.
I'll second it.
We haven't had a chance to really look
Well-
at this resolution or study it, Mark, and as I recall, there have been countless times within the last several board meetings when we've been working together that there has been great exception to anything that is presented at the table that people have not had a chance to look at, particularly from yourself and Mr. Dewhurst. Therefore, I am requesting the opportunity to really look at what you're saying here and to understand what it says before we act on it.
All of this was discussed at the last board meeting.
I would like time to
You can vote
absorb
yes,
this
no, or
piece of paper.
abstain.
No, I don't have to vote yes, no, or abstain.
The motion's been
I
put
would like-
forth and seconded.
Who makes the motions, Ms. Supervisor?
A town board member can make a motion.
Well, I haven't had time to absorb
Well,
this. and therefore I'm
so
not
if the
gonna vote
motion
on
has
it.
been made and seconded, I have some discussion to say.
And may I
You were
ask another question about-
present, as was Tom Dewhurst and Johanna Schaefer, when we spoke with the attorney at the New York Association of Towns. And you asked frequently, you asked 3 or 4 times about whether I could dissolve or disband the Codes Committee. And the answer you got was the same every time, which was it was a moot point because the committee was not an authorized committee. You cannot have, by town law, a committee working on a comprehensive plan or master plan. It's the same word. They're just 2 different words, they mean the same thing. You cannot have a committee working on a comprehensive plan for a town if that committee is not established by the town board. The Codes Committee was never established by the town board. So it was not an authorized committee to be doing that work. That says nothing about the work they did, but you well know that you have to abide by the law in order to produce a product that is going to be acceptable. If this town board had accepted and voted on a final product from the Codes Committee, anybody, particularly a developer, could have challenged that and completely negated the whole thing, because the work was done by a committee that was not authorized by the town board. The establishment of a comprehensive plan committee, is what legally has to be done. We established a committee. Tonight we were going to vote, or are going to vote, I hope, on who will be the members of that committee. There is no question that the committee had to be formed. Town law stipulates that a comprehensive plan committee has to be formed by a vote, by a resolution, and a vote of the town board, or else it is not allowed to work on the comprehensive plan for a town. You can't have an unauthorized committee producing a comprehensive plan and vote on it. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't have anything to do with whether the plan itself will be any good, but what it does have to do with is the fact that anybody could come in and challenge the comprehensive plan and any zoning regulations that support it, because they were not produced in a legal manner according to town law. That's what's very, very important. I'm not sure what else you're talking about in here. I'm not clear when you say, I received from John Clark something in February 11th, 2009, and neglected to make it available to the board. I don't know what you're talking about. February, are you talking about February, you're talking about February
11th,
10th?
2010.
What did I receive from John Clark? You got the same papers that everybody got from the planning board saying, from the Dutchess County Planning saying that it was a matter of local concern, a copy of the moratorium, and a copy of the moratorium law from our attorney Bill Bogle.
Okay, let me answer your question.
I'm not sure what you didn't receive.
Okay, let me answer your question. Here's an email from John Clark. John Clark, dated February 11th, 2010. Supervisor Stern, attached are the cover letter and draft local law in our referral 92227 file. We sent back a local decision May 15th. Noella Hopper should be back in the office on Monday. I will let her know to look out for the new extension referral. So, you received an email from John Clark with attachments, on February 11, 2010, like I said in the resolution.
May I see those, because I don't have
I have my
them.
personal notes on here. I will be glad to give you a copy.
I don't need
I'll
a
come
copy,
first-
I have it in
First
my
thing tomorrow.
office.
Well, you have it in your email because you
But there
replied
was
to.
nothing
Well, let me
that-
finish. No,
there
let me
was-
finish. That's not fair. I let you finish. Let me finish. In that information that you received the morning of the board meeting, whereas I mention it here, that the information that you received from John Clark, February 11th, 2010, it's a typo. You neglected to make that available as part of the formal discussion that we were having about moratoriums and committees. In there, in the information, it says the town board developed, empowered an ad hoc master planning committee. May 12, 2009. You were on the board then. And this has been filed with the Duchess, but you're saying there's an unauthorized committee. But let me finish, I'm not done.
I'm
No.
going to correct you.
No, I'm not
The town
done.
of Stanford,
Mrs. Stern, I'm not done. Can
All
you
right.
please let me finish?
certainly, go
All
ahead.
right. Regards to the information about our conference call with Michael Keneally. He was told only, by you, only, that there was an unauthorized committee. His response was, well, if it's unauthorized, you don't have to dissolve it because it's not authorized in the first place. I spoke to Mr. Keneally a couple of weeks ago. I gave him, after being able and being afforded the chance to do my due diligence and research this, I gave him the information. And this information is fact, it's undeniable. The number of members per committee was established, as well as the committee members on August 10, 2006. Supervisor Stern being one of the members of the committee. There are numerous references throughout 3 years of board minutes to the activities of the committee, as well as their actions taken, of which you were a part of. Public hearings were held November 28, 2008, November 22, 2008, February 28, 2009, all attended by both Supervisor Stern and Councilwoman Schaefer, with neither questioning the validity of the committee. Neither. In fact, those minutes reference that a codes committee was established in May 2007, and there are quotes from you in there saying the committee did a good job. The town board has
That's
referred through
inaccurate,
over,
sorry.
has referred throughout 3 years of documented minutes the work of the committees, followed their recommendations, funded them with approval of the board, vouchers of which were approved and authorized and signed by both of you. Given this, I'm going to quote what Michael Keneally of the Association of Towns said. Clearly, the previous board ratified the committees by referring to them, following their recommendations, and funding them. I then read the minutes of August 10, 2006, of which I made reference to last meeting, and you'll remember. Appoint committees and such. I read it verbatim to him. Mr. Keneally responded, "It appears the board formally recognized the establishment of the committees, even though the board minutes may not be exactly specific to the formation. But in substance, and based on actions, the committees appear to exist." Now, all that being said, we can have a difference of whether the committees were formed or not. So I asked Mr. Keneally, what would you recommend?